Hi class, I just wanted to address the research paper one more time and what needs to be done. I have looked at the rough drafts that you have sent in, and I am really impressed with the structures of your papers. So the papers, as far as the structure is concerned, are fine. Some of you have problems with the introductions. The introductions need to be very clear, and at the end of the introduction, you need to have a thesis statement. After that, you will indent the next paragraph, right? And then you will begin discussing your first point. Some of you had kind of vague thesis statements or lost in all of those paragraphs thesis statements. So make sure that you have an introduction with a thesis statement at the end of it. As far as the drafts are concerned, I was looking at the structure of the paper. If you used sources, the thesis statement, and of course the cover page and the reference page. So I wasn't grading in detail and strictly because it's a draft, right? You're still working on it. However, once you turn in the final draft of the research paper, I will look into how you are structuring your arguments. Are you engaging in the discussion with the authors of your sources? Are you connecting what they are saying to your claims and so on? I will also look at the spelling and the sentence structures. That is normal, right? Because you need to have solid sentences for your final paper in composition too. So basically, the grading of the paper so far was lenient, and it will be different for the final draft. I know you don't like to hear that, but I will be looking at all the things that you have practiced this semester. So I will not be grading things that we didn't do in class. Okay, so we have done the thesis statement. Make sure it's at the end of the introduction. We have done using sources and engaging in a discussion with those sources. So make sure that you have that. Everything that I will be grading for your final, we have already done in class, so it shouldn't be a problem. Also, be sure to spell check your paper and to check the grammar. And make sure that you have enough sources. A lot of you had just maybe 4 or 5 sources. The minimum for the research paper to begin with was 6 to 8 sources. Now, even that is not a lot. If you consider that you have at least 3 points in your paper, that's about 2 sources per point, which is not a lot, right? There's not going to be a lot of discussion going on if you only have 2 sources per point. So 6 to 8 is the minimum, but don't forget, in composition 2, the minimum is just a requirement, right? And that will bring you just a C. So the more you go above and beyond, the better your grade will be. If you got an A on or a B on your draft, it doesn't mean that that will be the grade for the final, because the final draft is graded differently. It's graded in more detail. Okay. So I wanted just to go over these things and to make sure that we are all on the same page when it comes to the research paper. That's all.